Namaste. Welcome to my 4-day workshop. Through this workshop, we're going to understand how to control our stress, how we can use simple breathwork techniques to sleep better, to optimize our productivity, and to just better be able to deal with negative and stressful emotions. So through this entire program, I'm going to take you through a bit of philosophy. So each day is going to consist of some philosophy where I'm going to be speaking and explaining exactly how the science of breath works. And in the next part of the video, we'll also have a few practices which you can take back into your life and really see potent changes. In today's workshop, I'm going to begin by speaking about the science of the breath. So the breath in the yogic traditions is considered to be the most important aspect of all our practices. We can either breathe consciously or unconsciously. So what I mean by that is that we can go through life never being aware of our breath, and we can go through life being aware of every single breath that we take. If we stop breathing for even a few minutes, we will die. And at the same time, we don't give the benefit of doubt to this very important technique and this very important aspect of our living. So the ancient yogis considered that we come into life with a set number of breaths. The quicker we breathe through these breaths, the quicker we die. The slower we breathe through these breaths, the longer we live. So in this sense, we are trying to elongate the breath. We are trying to breathe as long and deep as possible. So science has found that when we are actually conscious of our own breath, we tend to take longer and deeper breaths. Taking longer and deeper breaths has a direct impact on the parasympathetic nervous system. So this is the nervous system which is responsible for rest and digest, for recovery and recuperation of our physical and mental body. So when we activate the parasympathetic nervous system, we can have a sense of relaxation and also conserve our energy for tasks that require our sympathetic nervous system to be active. The sympathetic nervous system is mainly dealing with the flight or fight response. So it's where the adrenaline rush and where you're stressed and you're trying to get things done. That's that part of the nervous system. So oftentimes when we are unconscious of our breath and we are breathing really shallow breaths, we are activating the sympathetic nervous system, maybe at times when we don't even require it to be activated, which sends our body into a state of chronic stress and thus eventually chronic fatigue. Additionally, the medical science has sort of pegged down the number of breaths per minute. So the average number of breaths per minute is 16 breaths per minute. According to the yogic tradition, we shouldn't be breathing more than 11 breaths a minute. So ideally, below 11 breaths a minute is ideal. We have also found that when we are sick, when we have a fever, a flu, a cough, generally the breath rate goes above 20 to 25 breaths a minute. When we are really relaxed in a state of calm, peace, happiness, joy, our breath rate becomes slow to even go below 5-6 breaths per minute. This has many impacts, like I mentioned before, not only on the parasympathetic nervous system, but also on our digestive potential, our ability to metabolize food, and also our heart rate variability, which is a key indicator for the quality of sleep. So if we can sleep better, we rest better, we are more productive. There's a direct correlation between the quality of sleep and our ability to be productive, and breath plays a key role in this whole equation. So I'm just going to today take you through a technique called square breath or box breathing. So this is an ancient technique where we are basically trying to balance or equalize the 4 different aspects of our breathing. So we have 4 different parts of a breath, which is the inhale, exhale, the internal retention, which means holding the breath after inhaling, and external retention. External retention, which means holding the breath after exhale. So there are 4 parts to this breath. Holding the breath in the yogic traditions is called kumbhak. Now kumbhak has many benefits for not only our physical body but also our physiological mental states. A lot of different breathwork techniques exploit kumbhak in many different ways to give different effects in our body. So for instance, if we use the internal retention, we use a lot of internal retention, this sort of brings up or activates the sympathetic nervous system, which is the flight or fight response. So especially for people who are looking to boost their performance, say for instance elite athletes, or people who are competing in something, or they want to manifest something, they really need to work hard, need to squeeze, then you can practice techniques that involve more of internal retention, where you're holding your breath for long periods of time after inhaling. The other kind of retention, external retention, has many other benefits, also spiritual benefits as well as benefits on our immune system response. So for instance, the Wim Hof method, Wim Hof has found that when we hold the breath after doing a bit of hyperventilation or other kinds of techniques, and we hold the breath after exhaling completely, it has an amazing impact on our immune system. Our immune system is better able to fight pathogens, and this is primarily because the body is increasing the intake of carbon dioxide. So a lot of the times we hear that breathing deeply, doing pranayam will increase the level of oxygen in our body. So this is not the case, because what we are really trying to do is we are trying to increase the intake of carbon dioxide, which then allows this oxygen which is in our bloodstream to be effectively absorbed into our cells. So the cellular absorption of oxygen is facilitated by carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide is fundamental to that. So a lot of the times we are trying, when we breathe shallow and short and we breathe many breaths a minute, the amount of carbon dioxide in our system becomes less. So we actually want to increase the amount of carbon dioxide in our system by breathing long and deep, and also by holding the breath after exhaling completely. This also increases the carbon dioxide levels in the body, which has a dramatic impact on our immune system. Our immune system is also linked to our nervous system, and thus any changes in the nervous system caused by the breath is also impacting our immune system. So the ancient yogis, and even today if you go to the Himalayas, you'll find many yogis sitting, waking up at 4 a.m, jumping into the glacier, into the ice, dipping in the ice, coming out of the ice completely naked, and then sitting by the banks of these frozen rivers and frozen lakes, and doing their breath work, their pranayam practice. And it's an amazing sight, because you see actually the whole earth or the whole snow around them begins to melt with their practice. So they are using this breath or this breathwork practice to create this heat or energy within themselves, to heat up their inner system and also create an aura of heat around, so their body also is emitting this heat. So let's begin. We will begin with this simple technique of box breathing. So all we are going to do is we are going to count, take 4 counts, inhale, hold the breath for 4 counts, exhale 4 counts, and then once again hold the breath for 4 counts. So it's very simple. As we do that, we are also becoming aware of our belly. So our belly goes out on the inhale and in on the exhale. So we'll just try this for the next few minutes. Coming to a straight spine position, closing your eyes, beginning to inhale through your nostrils for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can have your eyes closed during this practice to feel what the breath work is doing to you. We'll again inhale at the count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale at the count of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last breath. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Relaxing, taking normal, long and deep breaths. You can close your eyes, just tuning into how you feel at this moment, just becoming aware of any sensations that may be arising in your body. And you can slowly begin to open your eyes, bringing back your attention to your physical body and your breath. So as you listen to me speaking, try to still remain aware of your breathing. So whatever task you do, whether it's you're writing something, you're messaging somebody, we can always remain aware of our breath at the background of that task. And that's a practice that you should try and inculcate, try and sort of develop. So in this breathwork, in this technique, this is the foundation to all breathwork practice, is the ability to breathe longer and deeper. So ideally, a yogi practicing in the mountains, many of them advanced practitioners of pranayam, actually sit for half an hour, and all they're doing is they're trying to extend the inhale, extend the exhale, being very slow with the inhale, slow with the exhale, and hold, maybe breathe about 30 breaths in 30 minutes. So one breath a minute, and that is what their pranayam practice consists of. So this is really the base or the foundation of all our practices. So before we go further, we are just going to look at some breath analysis or techniques or understanding of how we are supposed to breathe. What is the right way of breathing? What is the right pattern of breath? So the first, I'm going to ask you to place your hand on your belly. So placing one of your palms on your belly, you're going to exhale. Do this again. Exhale. Exhale. Now try to just remain aware of what happened when you exhale. What's happening with your stomach? Notice whether your stomach is going inside or it's coming outside as you exhale. So if your stomach is pushing outwards as you exhale, this is a sign that your breath pattern is reversed. So in medical science, they call this a paralyzed breath. So paralyzed breath is when, as we inhale, my stomach goes in, and as I exhale, my stomach goes out. So this is the abnormal or reverse pattern from what is supposed to be. So we are supposed to, as we inhale, draw the belly out, and as we exhale, draw the belly in. This has a relaxing impact and also activates our parasympathetic nervous system. So if you do have this reversed breath pattern, you need to look into it, because what this reverse breath pattern is doing is it's activating your sympathetic nervous system or your flight or fight response, which is in turn releasing large amounts of cortisol, which is a stress hormone, into your body, sending your body into a state of chronic stress, which is affecting your adrenals, your thyroid, just your entire energy level in general. So ideally you want to be breathing as you inhale out and exhale in. So that's the first thing with the correct pattern of breathing. The second is which nostril are we breathing predominantly from? So if you just place your hands underneath your nostrils and once again exhaling strongly. Taking an inhale, once again exhaling. So you'll notice most of the time that you're either breathing predominantly from one nostril or the other. So in the yogic traditions, one nostril is reflective of the sun energy and one is reflective of the moon energy. The right nostril of the sun and the left nostril of the moon or the lunar energy. So both these nostrils are also known to activate different parts of our nervous system. I will go into depth in this concept in my next videos in the same workshop. But for today, I'm just going to explain a different concept related to this. So if you have one nostril that's more dominant, and you'll need to check this multiple times a day, because just checking it now once with me is not quite enough. So you'll have to check it a few times a day at different points in the day to see whether one nostril is constantly more dominant than the other. This is also an imbalance in your breathing pattern as well as an imbalance in your nervous system. We will talk in the future video about which nostril is related to which. But I would like you to make a note right now of which nostril is more dominant, and then maybe 2 hours later, once again check it and see which nostril is more dominant. So ideally, every 2 hours, we should shift from one nostril to the next, from this back to the left, from the left back to the right. Every 2 hours, it alternates of which nostril is active. Ideally, a yogi, somebody who has been doing a breathwork practice for many years, will be breathing equally through both nostrils at all times. This is a state of balance. I'm sure many of you all have heard the word Hatha, Hatha Yoga, Ha and Tha, the sun and the moon. We are balancing the sun and the moon energies, which are linked to our right and our left nostrils, the sun being the right, the moon being the left. And the sun and the moon energies are being balanced. If they are completely balanced, we are breathing equally through both nostrils. This means that we can increase and activate our energy when we need to be productive, when we need to go ahead and accomplish something, and at the same time, when we are relaxing, we are taking time off, we know how to switch the mind off, how to completely reach this state of relaxation. So this is the complete state of balance that we can achieve within us. So this was the second analysis of the breath that we just did. Now we're going to also analyze the breath from a third perspective. this perspective is looking at the health of our respiratory system. So I'm going to ask you here to just breathe normally a few times. So we're going to take 5 breaths, inhale and exhale at a normal pace. So inhaling, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last time, inhale, exhaling all the air out of your lungs, and then you're going to hold the breath. So holding the breath for as long as you can. We're going to set a timer, so just holding as long as possible. You can close your eyes here while you're holding the breath. And whenever it's enough for you, you can take a long deep inhale. So now I want you all to observe how many seconds you all manage to hold your breath after exhaling completely. So after completely releasing all the air from the lungs, the duration with which you are able to hold the breath. So if you are not able to hold the breath for even 30 seconds, this signifies a respiratory system that is unhealthy or not functioning at its optimum. If you are able to hold for at least 30 seconds or more, this shows that your respiratory system is healthy and your breath function is happening at the correct rate. So what is happening really when we hold our breath on the external retention? There are alveoli, which are hair-like structures in our lungs, and these are responsible for the gas exchange that is happening in our body. So the gas exchange is basically when I inhale, I'm filling up my lungs with oxygen, and now this oxygen is getting absorbed by the alveoli, this hair-like structure in the lungs, and is then being sent to different parts of my body. So the ability for my body to absorb the oxygen, for the lungs to absorb the oxygen and then transmit it to the rest of the body, this is known as the gas exchange, or the ability of exchanging gases by the body. Similarly, the body will start to, when it starts to have too much carbon dioxide in the blood, this is then taken to the lungs, where again the alveoli pull the carbon dioxide from the lungs, from the blood, and then release it out. So that ability, when I am exhaling completely and holding the breath, there is a carbon dioxide build-up in the body. So if my alveoli is not effective at collecting this carbon dioxide, then my body, I'm going to start feeling giddy, and I'm going to get signals coming from my nervous system to my brain telling me to stop. Don't do what you're doing, it's harmful, and release, inhale. So that sort of stress signal, if it's coming earlier rather than later, it means that the gas exchange, the ability of your body to absorb gases from the body and also from the air outside you and deposit it to all the cells, is lacking or not functioning at its optimum. So just by practicing these techniques of increasing our inhale, increasing our retention, the ability to hold the breath between the inhale and exhale, and increasing the exhale, has an impact on improving the gas exchanges that are happening in the body. The gas exchange is also linked to our endocrine system. So the way we breathe is linked to the endocrine system, which is responsible for releasing hormones within the body, and this is very crucial to see the way we feel and to sort of guide or change the way we feel internally. So now we are just going to do another technique to finish this practice. Today was a little bit more about philosophy, as this was the introductory video, but in the coming videos we will have a little bit more practice as well. So once again, sitting tall and straight, we are going to do this time just 5 or 10 breaths. So we are going to breathe into our belly, into the chest, into the throat. So as you inhale, inhaling into the belly, chest, throat. As you exhale, exhaling out of the throat, chest, belly. So it's a very simple practice which is called yogic breath or full yogic breath. We're going to take 10 breaths like this, long and deep breaths. And after that, we're going to exhale completely and hold the breath. We're going to retain the breath. We're going to try to hold for 30 seconds. And then we're going to, after that, inhale deeply and once again hold the breath. And then we're going to try to hold the breath for about 20 seconds after that. If at any point it gets too much for you to hold the breath for so long, you can release and continue with the practice, or continue to breathe normally with your eyes closed, just observing the sensations occurring within you. So once again, coming to seated upright in a straight position without a backrest if possible, closing your eyes, taking a long inhale, inhaling into your belly, chest, throat, exhaling out of your throat, chest, belly, inhaling into your belly, chest, throat, exhaling from the throat, chest, belly, inhaling belly, chest, throat, exhaling from the throat, chest, belly, inhale belly, chest, throat, exhale throat, chest, belly, inhaling into the belly, chest, throat, exhaling out of the throat, chest, belly, inhaling into the belly, chest, throat, exhaling out of the throat, chest, belly. Last time, inhaling into the belly, chest, throat, exhaling out of the throat, chest and belly, exhaling all the way, holding the breath here. And then taking a long deep inhale, filling up your lungs entirely, and once again holding the breath. And releasing the breath completely once you're done. We're going to repeat that once again, this time just taking 5 inhales and exhales and then holding the breath at the end. So inhaling into the belly, chest, throat, exhaling out of the throat, chest, belly, inhale belly, chest, throat, exhale throat, chest, belly, inhale belly, chest, throat, exhaling out of the throat, the chest, the belly, inhale belly, chest, throat, exhale throat, chest, belly, inhale belly, chest, throat, exhale throat, chest, belly, exhaling all the air, holding the breath. And then taking a long inhale. Once again, holding the breath. And releasing the breath once you're done. Keeping your eyes closed, taking a few normal, long and deep breaths. And for a last time, we're going to repeat this technique. This time, we're just going to take 3 full yogic breaths before we do the external retention and the internal retention. So, breathing in to the belly, chest, throat, exhaling out of the throat, chest, belly. Last one, inhaling into the belly, chest, throat, exhaling out of the throat, chest, belly. Inhale, belly, chest, throat, exhale, throat, chest, belly, releasing all the air, holding your breath. And taking a long inhale. Once again, holding your breath. And releasing the breath. Keeping the eyes closed, we're just going to take 1 minute in complete silence, just observing your breath, breathing normally. and slowly begin to open your eyes. Notice how you feel different from when you began this practice. Notice the changes in your mental state, the changes in how your body feels. It's just very simple. It's not required to do any kind of crazy techniques to see the benefits and to take the benefits out of breathwork. Once we realize how simple it is and how universal it is in the fact that each and every one of us, regardless of where we are, how old we are, what we do, can practice the breathwork to improve our everyday existence. Thank you for joining on this video and see you in the upcoming videos.